Hey everybody, it's Kids Coding and welcome back to another video. So we're back with the Python videos and today we're going to be starting with tuples. So let's open up the notepad and get started. So the first thing we want to learn how to do is create a tuple. So let me first get rid of what a tuple is. So a tuple is just a list, but it can't be changed. So whatever you put in is permanent. So let's get started by creating a tuple. So let's name our tuple this tuple. And then let's say what it is. Okay, and then let's print the tuple. So let's save it to our coding folder. Let's replace it. And then let's go to our command prompt. Open up the folder. Okay, and then let's copy that. And slash tuples.py. And then let's enter. And now you see it has created our tuple for us. So yeah, that's the first part. So now the next part is learning about indexes and then range of indexes, negative indexes, and so on. A lot of the things that we did in tuples are also in lists, and you can check out the list video, the top right hand corner. So a lot of the things, like I said, that we do in lists, we do in tuples, but some of the stuff in tuples we can't do like we do in lists because of the fact that tuples are permanent and you can't change them. So for now, let's start on the indexes. So let's say we keep the same tuple. Okay, let's just do it. Okay, and then okay, and then let's print the first character of the tuple. Save it. And as you see, it does print the first character of the tuple because big starts with 0 and then monkey. But let's say we want to do -1. Whenever we do negative indexes, it starts from here. So there really isn't a 0. So it starts -1, -2, -3, and so on. So let's save it. And there you see it'll say monkey because monkey is -1. So it goes from right to left when it's negative, just like a number line. So the same thing works with range of indexes. So let's add a few more stuff here. Okay, and let's say 2 to 5. Save. And as you see, it'll print the second one with the second character, which is for monkey, and it'll print all the way to the last character, or the 5th character, which was Oreo. So it'll print that. Same thing works with negative indexes. Let's say we wanted -1 to -4. So let's save it and try it. Okay, let's check what happened. Let's try that. See what happened. Okay. Oh, I see why. Okay. So let's make it like that. Okay. Now let's try it. So as you see, it will say fat monkey eats due to the fact that it starts with the -4. So this is -5, that's a -4. And then it will go to -1, which is right here. So it will just give you those. So that's it with ranges and what indexes are. Now we're going to replace tuple values with what they are. So let's say this tuple is x, and then let's say y is a list of x. Let's say y of 1. Let's say we replace the first character with skinny. And let's say x is a tuple of y, and then let's print x. Let's save it. And what will happen is that it will replace fat with skinny, because we said y1, which is the first character, and we said we wanted skinny, so it will replace it. We can replace tuples, but we can't add things to it, or we can't remove things to it. That will result in errors because tuples are unchangeable. So now it's check if an item exists. So we're going to see if a certain string or a word is within the tuple. If not, it will give you an error. If it is, then it will tell you. So this tuple is okay. Let's go back to a regular tuple. Okay, and then now let's save it. So now it'll say yes, apple isn't, or not apple. Let's say fat. Yeah, fat is in this tuple. So let's say if skinny is in this tuple. Let's see what happens if we do that. And actually it will result in a blank, because that means it's an error and it's not there. So that's it with that. Okay, now we have the length. We're going to find the len function. We're going to use it to tell how many characters the tuple has. This is the same thing with the list. We can use the len for that too. So let's say this tuple is let's print the length of this tuple. Okay, let's save it, and then let's see. And as you see, it'll say 3, because there are 3 strings in this tuple. And then we have the loop through a tuple, so we're going to loop through the tuple. So we are going to use the for function to loop through the tuple. So let's say this tuple is okay, and then let's print x. Okay, remember you always need to have a space after the print as an indent for an indentation. Okay, and then let's see what happens. And as you see, it will loop through the tuple and it will give you all the characters in the list. Okay, add items, and I'm going to show you how this is an error, because tuples are permanent and you can't really change them or anything because they're unchangeable is the word. So let's try this. Okay, and then let's say this tuple 3 let's print this tuple. So if you see here, the result's not going to be what is expected. It'll give you an error because tuples are permanent and you just can't change them. Same thing with removing items. If you try to, you just can't do it. Like, it's just impossible. But there is one thing you can do with tuples, and that is to delete the whole thing. So let's say we delete this tuple. Let's print this tuple. So, what happened here? Okay, let's try that again. Let me try that. Okay. Check on that. Okay, so I believe, let's try it again. Let's see if it results in error, because I believe it should result in an error. Yep, so I tried it 3 times, so it's supposed to result as an error. So, that's the case, what happened. So it's going to result into an error because the tuple no longer exists. So, that's it with those. We're going to create a tuple with one item. It is possible, but we're going to have to use a comma after. And then let's print it. But we're going to use type this tuple. Okay, so and then it will tell you the class is a tuple. So we just find what type it is, which is a tuple, and then it will work with one comma. If we don't do a comma, it should give an error. Yep, or it just tells you that the class is a string. So yeah, that will identify a tuple. So the last 2 things we're going to cover are combining tuples and creating a tuple using the tuple constructor. So to combine tuples, let's say the first tuple is just strings. Okay. Let's say tuple 2 is just numbers. Okay. Okay, and then let's print tuple 3 and see what happens. Oh, indent, not bad. And I just see it combines A, B, C, and 1, 2, 3, so it combines them. And then the last thing we're going to cover is the tuple constructor. So this is another way to make a tuple. So let's say this tuple is, and then we'll list the tuple. Okay, and then let's say that's that. And then let's print the tuple. And then note that we need the double brackets. So let's save it and then try that. And as you see, it will print the tuple. So that's just another way to print the tuple if you just can't do the previous one. It's just like a more complex way and just another way to do a tuple. So that's pretty much it for this video. Hope you enjoyed it, and make sure like this video if you did good, if you enjoyed it.